everyone, I'm Bree. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. This tag was created by ARIEL BISSETT. I will leave a link to her video as well as the questions down below if you're interested in answering them for yourself. Question 1, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? That's a no. I pretty much know by like 50 pages in if I'm going to actually read a book, if I'm going to DNF the book, or if I do want to read the book but maybe just not right then. I tend to not even put a book on Goodreads as currently reading until I've hit like page 55, because by then I know if I'm gonna read it or not, except when I'm reading on my Kindle. The Kindle is such a hater. Like, I will start reading it and it'll just put it on Goodreads and I'm like, no, now I gotta get on there and remove it because I don't know if I'm gonna actually read it or not. So yeah, I don't tend to start books and just kind of put them to the side and keep them there with the intentions of picking them back up. Like, I either know I'm going to read the book or I don't. If I have a book that I like put on my nightstand and it's like a week later and I haven't picked it up, if I know I'm not really in the mood to read it at the moment, I just put it back on my bookshelf and move on to something else. Question 2, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? So I'm not really a seasonal reader, but then I kind of am. Like, I think like most readers, when the fall comes, I want to read a little bit darker stuff. I'd want to pick up more gothic romances and stuff like that. But yeah, that only lasts so long. Like, I really do that maybe like September and October. And then like once Halloween comes, like literally November 1st, I'm reading holiday romances. So I've kind of moved on from that. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? So I know that in 2020, the next book in the Central Park Pact by Lauren Lane comes out. I'm totally blanking on the title, but I will put a picture up. And people are already getting arcs of the follow-up to the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams, which is just amazing because I literally just hauled that book like 2 weeks ago. Like, it just came out and people are getting arcs for it already. So as far as 2020 goes, those are probably like my big 2 releases that I'm waiting for. Next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So kind of like my friend Stephanie said, I basically give myself to the last minute of December to read, and you know, for 2019. I don't know, I am really just making my way through holiday romances. I would like to get the stack that I have finished, but I keep adding more books to it, so we'll see how that goes. And there's so many readathons taking place in December that I want to participate in, and like everything that I have picked out, I definitely want to read for those. I don't know, I think specifically I really want to read 10 Blind Dates by Ashley, I think Etchison. I'm blanking on the title, but I will put a picture of it up. And that is one of the picks for 'Tis the Season-a-thon. So and I plan to participate in that. So I think if I had to like say one book specifically, it would be that one. It is a young adult contemporary romance and it sounds a lot of fun, so I can't wait to read that one. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? So every time I pick up a book, I'm hoping that it becomes a new favorite. So really anything that I'm planning to read this month, I hope is a new favorite. And lastly, have you started making reading plans for 2020? So I think the biggest thing, the biggest elephant in the room in my house, my husband every year is like, you need to up your Goodreads goal. I always play it safe and put it like 60. I think this year I put it at 75, and he's just like, oh my gosh, you're so brave. And currently, as of today, I've already read, I think I'm at like 160. Like, I've read double what my goal was. So definitely want to up that. I just always get nervous because I am a history student and it's so much reading for class that I'm always like, well, I don't know how much reading I'm going to be doing for school. So I'm really pondering on like how many books I want to set for myself. I don't want to like focus so much on the number, but it's also fun at the same time to like push yourself and see how much you can read. As far as like romance specifically, I definitely want to read more romances by women of color. I definitely need to step my game up when it comes to that. And I think just a lot of times there are romances that I read by women of color and didn't know that they were women of color, because a lot of Black romance authors and women of color in general, they don't write just for Black women or Asian women. They write for everybody, so you don't necessarily know that you're reading a Black author, which I think is cool, but I definitely want to like seek those authors out and read their works, and definitely want to make my way through more like backlist titles. I want to read some older romances. Historical romances aren't necessarily my thing, but I definitely want to find a love for them because they are the favorites of so many of my friends. So just explore the romance genre a lot more than what I have. I feel like I found my safe space and I tend to stay in my safe space. But yeah, I definitely want to step out and branch out a little bit more, especially when it comes to older romances. I've read a few that have become favorite books of all time. So yeah, there's a few authors specifically. Judy Aitken, I've read one of her romances, A Love Beyond Time, and absolutely loved it. And I have 2 other romances by her that I want to read. There's a romance author named Teresa Dennis that I really want to read. And the cheapest that I can find her book, I believe she only published 2, because she published her 2 romances and then she died in a really tragic car accident. The cheapest that I can find one of them for is like $60. So I have not purchased it yet, but I am probably going to budge and read them in 2020. So yeah, definitely read more women of color, up my Goodreads goal, and just explore older romances a little bit more. I know that when you're backtracking and you're reading older romances, there's going to be a lot of problematic stuff in there, but I just, in this weird nerdy way, I want to see how far the genre has come. Those are my responses to the end of the year book tag. I feel like I started rambling there at the end, but let me know down in the comments below what some of your goals are for 2020. I would really love to hear. Are there any authors specifically that you're excited to get to? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye.